Welcome back to another episode of your favorite YouTube channel and podcast. Talking Ravens all day, every day, with your host Justin P and my $1 million co-host Miss Shannon Finch. It is episode 102 for the YouTube channel. For the audio version, is season 2, episode 10. So you can check that out. All the links are right there, available in the description, along with myself, Dave, and Shannon's social media platforms. So today, co-host got some real good topics for us. Wild card weekend is done, so we'll get into the breakdown and matchup stuff on Thursday. But today we're going to touch on some other stuff. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, the floor belongs to Miss Shannon Fitch.
Okay. So like Justin said, we know who we're playing on Saturday. The playoffs start then. But before we completely shut the door on the regular season, I just wanted to go over some things about this regular season before we start moving into the playoffs. So if doing that, the first thing we're going to do is give out team awards. So Justin, who is the MVP for the offense for you?
Lamar Jackson, because like I said, I know it's kind of like cliche, but like I said, without him, the offense don't look the same with Tyler Huntley or Josh Johnson after 17 games. We've seen it. So just for that alone, and then like I said, he's probably going to win his second MVP. So Lamar Jackson, it's not even close.
Yeah, I have Lamar as well. Since the bye, I feel like Lamar has been playing lights out. And what most called our toughest stretch, or even the toughest stretch in the NFL, we went undefeated and he played his best football. He set himself as apart from others. Everybody else who they thought were MVPs for this season, I feel like Lamar came in and he snatched it. We talked about if he was the MVP, if he wasn't the MVP throughout the season. And I feel like he made it so that it's no question in anybody's mind when it's time to vote. Lamar's the MVP of the season. And I also think that he's the MVP of our offense. He became a vocal leader as the year went on. And from conversations that we've had, that's what I was kind of worried about, wondering who that was going to be. I feel like Lamar stepped up to the plate and let us know exactly who the leader of that offense is. All right, so next, the MVP for the defense. Who do you have as MVP of the defense?
Hmm. I got to give it to Justin Metabike. As much as I want to go Roquan, and rightfully so, because he's lead and all that, but Justin Metabike leading league in sacks, man. The kid dominating. So I'm gonna cheat a little bit. I'm gonna give it to two people. I don't know if I can do that, Shannon. You're the judge of this thing, but I'm gonna cheat a little bit. I'm gonna go cold defensive MVPs. I'm gonna go Justin Metabike and Roquan Smith.
Okay, that's cool. And I went Kyle Hamilton to make the Pro Bowl and be all pro
Okay.
in your second season. When he's not on the field, we see the impact that is missing. He's a difference maker. I think Kyle Hamilton has been the MVP of the defense this year. And who do you have as the
And
MVP of
rightfully
the?
so.
Oh,
Look
go
at the
ahead.
numbers.
Yeah.
No, I said
And who
rightfully
do you
so.
have?
Look at the numbers. The numbers don't lie.
And who do you have for MVP for special teams?
Jordan Stout. Jordan Stout. Tuck missed a couple. He's still my guy. I love him. But Jordan Stout, man, he been putting that ball. He been penning teams back. So it would have been Duvernay maybe, but he got hurt and stuff. So it's definitely Jordan Stout right now.
Same. I had the same person for the same reasons, really. Justin Tucker was questions about him this season. We talked about that. And like I said, with the punt game and the kick return game, it really hasn't been as consistent as we would like it, like we for us to call it to be for one guy. But Jordan Stout, he's been doing it his thing all year, so he's definitely the MVP for special teams. And who do you have as the most improved player for the Ravens as a whole?
Most improved. Brandon Stevens. Gotta go Brandon Stevens. You know what I mean? He moved around from corner to safety, the nickel, and for him to finally the game had to slow down for him because he was playing running back. He only played 2 years of corner, period. So now he in year three, he finally getting he's played at a Pro Bowl level, man. He's been awesome. So definitely Brandon Stevens.
Great choice. I have Justin Metabike. His numbers for tackling wasn't far off from what he normally does, but it was the sacks for me. I mean, he had double-digit sacks. We led the league in, and I believe I heard we lead the league in pressures as well. I know we lead the league in sacks. He made the Pro Bowl. He was an All-Pro. Like he earned himself a payday for sure. So I'm giving him most improved. And who do you
That's a
have for
great
Rookie of
choice.
the Year?
Come on now. It's the Zay maker, Zay Flowers. Come on. It's like it's not even close. I mean, who else is like Tavares Robinson been playing okay. Trenton Simpson, when you seen one game out of him, and so it's like who else can you give it to? But Zay Flowers is like that was the easiest one of them all.
I agree. I had Zay Flowers as well. He was everything that we hoped for and more. And I'm just excited to see his growth and see what else we get from him. Definitely in a conversation for the best wide receiver we've ever drafted. And who do you
For
give
sure.
Coach of the Year to between John Harbaugh and all three coordinators? Who would you give Coach of the Year to?
Because this defense has been lights out. They've been lights out all year long. Outside of a couple missteps here and there, which is going to happen, they've been lights out, man. Like they held San Fran in 19, held Miami in 19, held Detroit to 6 points, held Seattle to three, like going on and on. It's definitely Mike McDonald, man. That defense been playing their ass off.
I said the same thing. From week one to week 18, there really wasn't no question about the defense and whether or not they were going to show up. Like you said, we can look at different weeks, like the second Browns game or even a Rams game, and talk about what they could have done better. But overall, we really had nothing to complain about. We were really nitpicking because of our expectations of the group. I mean, every week they came out prepared. Didn't matter who the opponent was. Every time someone, the media, or people thought that this team was going to be the team to beat us, I mean, we showed up and showed out. And a lot of those teams that had really great offenses all throughout the year couldn't do anything against our defense. And I'm going to attribute that to Mike McDaniel. So he definitely is coach of the year for me as well. I said McDaniel, McDonald. But we have some other
Yeah,
topics
we
to
know
get
what you
into.
meant.
We have some other topics to get into. So about the offense. Did the new offense meet your expectations?
Overall, yes. I say it's about hitting our stride around the bye week. Like I said, limited off season. Everything that was going on with Lamar and his contract. Couple players went in there, nursing injuries. Now everybody's back together for the most part, and you've seen it: 30 points, 40 points, 50 something points. So yeah, I think we're averaging what 30 something points a game right now. So yeah, it met my expectations.
Yeah, I said the same thing. We talked about this in the off season, expecting growing pains. They had growing pains. Things went on went on a little bit longer than I would have hoped or liked to, but we did have guys in and out of the lineup because of injuries. And I feel like as the season went on, we just continued to grow. And particularly, like you said, after the bye week, it just seemed like it's like a switch was flipped, and it's been a different offense. I mean, everybody's contributing. Lamar's saying more of the field. And not that I don't feel like we need Mark Andrews, but like losing him was kind of a blessing in disguise because at that point Lamar has to look elsewhere, and I feel like he's done that throughout the weeks. And we've talked about it after some games, like everybody was getting in on the offense. And what's scary about it is I don't even think they've reached their peak, So they definitely met my expectations this year. All right. So next, we talked about him, or you just mentioned him when talking about the rookies of the year. But how impressed were you with Trenton Simpson against the Steelers in Week 18?
Oh man, he was phenomenal. I remember Ben kept saying they need to find a way to get him in the game, especially them games where we're up big. Let him play because I seen this kid as a spark plug, man. Like he's versatile, can move all around the field. He outplayed Queen. Like I watched it. Like I said, Queen is not the same player without about zero out there. And Trenton Simpson just helped probably save EDC a lot of money, honestly. Because now EDC can say, man, look, man, I want to keep you here, man, but I'm not fit to give you $18 million when I got this kid on a rookie contract playing just as good or could do the
Mhm.
same things, with given the opportunity. He just showed it. He was all over the place. Won missed tackles. He was covering. Like, he just was playing like a madman with his hair on fire. And that's all for just one game. So imagine if he had a full 16 and a full training camp and a full this. So, yeah, so he played amazing. So like I said, Queen, you better if you want to go get paid, brother, I ain't knocking nobody feeding their family, but trust me, but we will gladly take you to the airport and what I mean, and put that kid in because, like I said, it's no drop off. Honestly, he played amazing.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I was really impressed. When you think about it, we set a lot of guys around. They didn't play long, the guys that did play. And he was going against opposing starters and he popped off the screen. I mean, every time I was looking at the plays, I was like, wait, who's that? Oh, that's not Queen, that's not Roquan. Like, like I could when I was looking, I'm like, wait a minute. That's Trenton's okay. All right. Like it makes you feel comfortable with if we have to lose Queen, you're like, okay, somebody can hold it down. And I like Patrick Queen. I've been lobbying for him all off season. But it's no secret that we all saw that his game improved when Roquan came in the building. Because if Patrick Queen was doing what he needed to do, we probably wouldn't have had to make that trade and would have been paying maybe him instead of paying Roquan. But we made the trade. It worked out for everybody. But that also lets us know that we can let you go and put somebody else in there who probably can do just as well, if not better. And like you said, younger, not paying us, we are still on his rookie contract. It's like, it's tough. But as far as being a Ravens fan, it made me feel good about what the future holds in that case, and um how versatile he is, how much we can use him in different ways. Like everybody was talking about different ways we can use him. You have him and a guy like Carl Hamilton out there. Like, just imagine what the defense can be with both of them. So I'm looking forward to it. Like I said, I don't necessarily want to lose Patrick Queen, but I understand that he's probably going to get paid somewhere else.
Yeah, I don't either, but like I said, we can't afford to pay two off ball linebackers. Damn, $20 million or close to $20 for both of them. It just can't happen. Not for a position that's easily replaceable in today's football.
Yeah, yeah. And talking about losing people, are you concerned with losing either coordinator, Todd Monken or Mike?
From a scale of 1 to 10, I'm gonna say 5 because of the jobs that's out there. They're not appealing jobs. Only job that's appealing is the Chargers job because Justin Herbert and the talented guy. That's the only job that's appealing. Commanders, new ownership, they're a mess. Panthers, no first round pick, they're a mess. Raiders, the players want Antonio Perez, so we'll see what happens with that. And then, like I said, it's not too many appealing jobs. The Patriots, already went they trying to steal the page of the Texans book, which is smart, and go with a guy has been in house and know the Patriot way, so they and sprinkle it on. And like I said, it's working great for Houston. So New England trying to because a lot of the executives in Houston came from New England, so they're trying to mimic what they're doing. So like I said, not a lot of appealing jobs. So that's why I said 5. So I think both of them would be back until something bigger and better opens up.
Oh, well, I would like to keep both, but I'm more concerned with losing Monken over McDonald. When I say that, I mean like I wouldn't want to lose him, because I feel like even when we've had defensive coordinators like Greg Madison or Dean Pease, where we could sit around and complain about their schemes and the different things they did or what they allowed, bend don't break. A lot of that happened under Dean Pease. I feel like John Harbaugh could still find a right guy that could run the defense the way we want to run it and utilize the guys that we have the right way. When I think about Todd Monken, I wouldn't want to lose him. I'm more concerned about losing him because I want to see this offense continue to grow. Losing him to me would just remind me of Joe Flacco and Kubiak for that 1 year. Joe Flacco had his best season under Kubiak, and a year later he's gone. Um, the stats might not say Lamar is having his best season. I don't really know how his stats this year stack up against others, but he's had a pretty good season. And I feel like with more time with Monken and in his offense, and some of the young guys that's going to continue to grow with him, they can open it up a lot more. And now everybody can be more comfortable with each other to figure out what's good for you, what works, what doesn't work. I just wouldn't want Lamar to have to go through another offensive coordinator. So I don't want to lose either guy. Like you said, when you look around the league, that's it's your perception. Whatever you think is a good job or a bad job, that would be up to those guys to decide because it's not like people are knocking down your door to hire you.
Right.
You know, ex Eric Benamy and Wink. You know, they're still trying to get head coaching jobs, and they deserve it. I'm not saying they're not deserving, but I'm just saying that guys might not want to turn it down if a team offers it to them. I just don't want to lose Ted Monken. Like I feel like our defense. I like Mike. I love everything he's done, but I feel like we could get another guy in there and still be the Baltimore Ravens that we're known to be. But offensively, I just
Hmm.
don't want to lose Todd yet. I just don't want to like that's who I'm concerned about losing.
I think we'll keep him because he's a little older. I don't think he really want to do that as much. Being a head coach at that age is a little bit more stressful with the Mike McDonald. You're older than him, Shannon. Like he's only 36, I think. Like that. He's like a year too older than me. So it's different for him. And him, he's the perfect age for head coach. Young, energetic,
Hmm.
can be there for 30 years, whatever. Monken, well, a couple more years, he'd probably be through with coaching period. 62 years old. So I think he would like to stay a coordinator because it's a lot less pressure and all that. Because here in the head coach, you deal with everything: ownership,
But has he taken
front
any
office, the
interviews?
players.
Has he taken
Todd
any
Monken,
interviews
I'm
yet? Like
not
I
sure.
know,
I'm not
yeah, because I know teams asked to talk to him,
right.
and they said that
I
Mike
know
took
they did.
interviews. I don't know if Todd has.
I'm not showing that. Yeah, the Mike that's expected. Like I say, young, and he don't know what type when these opportunities will be available against. That's why you can't get
Right.
mad at him. Nobody's gonna. You shouldn't blame nobody for wanting to take a advancement in their career. But
Hmm.
like I said, Todd may get some interest because of how the offense doing. But a lot of people might be like, "Hey, you're not gonna have Lamar Jackson here if you take this job." So they might look at stuff like that. But hopefully
I
we
hope
keep
they
them both.
do. I hope. Look, I hope they do. I hope they don't want him because I want him to stay here.
Right. Right.
All right, and so the last topic we have is, and this is about the regular season, and after this, we're moving on to the playoffs on the next episode. Should Eric DeCosta win Executive of the Year?
Yes, for sure. For sure. For sure, he went under a lot of scrutiny. I criticized him a lot myself. Sorry, EDC. He
Mhm.
definitely he got the contract done. That was the biggest hurdle of the all season. I was like the young and the restless. Did we sign him on? Did we not sign him? Did we trade him? It was like that whole debacle. And like I said, he took a lot of backlash, a lot. He got that out the way. Then he went and got Odell. He went and got Nelson Aguilar. Drafted Zay. Um, um, picked up Clowney, Van Noy, signed Keaton Mitchell, a hitting gem. Went touched up the O line into the draft, drafted some more depth. He made some good moves, and like I said, he made some really good moves. Picked up Rocketson, picked up Darby. So yeah, he had a hell of an off season. So he definitely should get executive of the year.
I agree. When we started recording this podcast for this particular season, it was like just right after the Super Bowl, and things started picking up, the owners' meetings and things like that. And Bateman was tweeting, and it was just a big old bunch of mess with Lamar. It was a lot, with everything that he had to deal with from the start of the off season, everything in between to being the number one seed in the AFC. I don't see how you cannot give it to him. I mean, I don't think any other executive had as much pressure as Eric had on them this offseason from your quarterback having to deal with the fact that somebody might really try to tempt him and get him away from you and then trying to get a wide receiver in here and still having holes and having guys injured and picking up the right free agents during the season even after losing guys knowing that you drafted the right guys and you have the amount of depth on your team that losing guys didn't really change anything. We didn't have any fall off. Like I always say, that starts with Eric DeCosta in the scouting department for picking the right guys, then goes down to John Harbaugh because you pick the guys to be on the roster. But he definitely should win Executive of the Year. I can't think of any other executive that had to go through everything he went through and succeed at doing it. Not only succeed, but excel.
Yeah, for sure. Like you say, picked up, like I said, everybody, Cloudy Walls, this, that, and the third. He'll bust. He can do this, stop the run. Now he had 9.5, almost 10 sacks. Like, so, same with Van Noy. He getting old. He was only good in Belichick system. Came here, he got 9 sacks. So, We just like I said, players they love here. They love the atmosphere, especially defensive players. When you walk past,
Mm-hmm.
when you come to work every day, you see a big old statue of Ray Lewis. So you see that's our bread and butter. Even though Lamar's as phenomenal as he is, we're still a defensive organization. Always will be.
Yeah.
Always will be. So that drives guys who play on that side of the ball. They get a little something out of them. So yeah, EDC has done a great job. Like I said, he definitely was under a lot of pressure, from us, the media, and all them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure Steve got on his back like, hey man, let's get this done because
Yeah.
it's gonna be hard for me to sell tickets with Will Levis here at quarterback for me. so, so you know, yeah, yeah, you can watch Shad. Like I know. I mean, people still will come, of course, because we're gonna love the Ravens
Oh
through and
yeah.
through. But let's be real here. You would rather see 8 than to see a Will Levis or Tyler Huntley here, right or wrong. So
Oh, definitely.
those see right. So I'll be those discussions were had behind closed doors. So he's like, I got you, and he made it happen. So yeah, he definitely deserved to get that award. We shall see.
Mm-hmm.
It might
Yeah,
go to
we'll
a
see.
Texan executive. It might go to a Texans executive because of because how they did this rebuild with the whole name with Deshaun and now they're in the playoffs. So I mean, if they do, it's deserving. But definitely EDC definitely should at least be an honorable. I mean, at least a nominee if nothing else.
Definitely. Definitely.
Everybody, that's it. It wasn't wasn't a super long show, but covered a lot. Thursday probably a little longer because we'll be breaking down this playoffs. If everything goes right, we're gonna have some special guests on here, full time Dame. Everybody know Trippy, super fan. We'll have him come on here. Been trying to get him on for a minute. And schedules finally aligned. And then of course David be here, so same time, 7:15 Thursday. So that's probably be a nice lengthy show. All right, Shannon, anything you want to say before we roll out?
Yeah. I'm looking forward to the show on Thursday. I think we had a great season. I think this is a season that all fans can be proud of and happy about, and one that we'll look back on and say that was one of those ones. But it's definitely time to kill all the narratives and create new ones. And when I say that, y'all know what I mean as Ravens fans. So I'm looking forward to this weekend.
Yeah, I'm gonna say is it's now we got to seize the opportunity while it's here. We gotta take it one game at a time. People don't book your flights just yet. Don't book this. Wait. Take it one game at a time, one game at a time. And that's the approach Harbaugh taking. I'm loving it. He still had them practicing like it was a game with this whole, and they still stayed after and got reps and stuff like that. So they showing that like 2019 is still in the back of a lot of those guys' minds who are here. And
Hmm.
so they're like, hey man, we can't. You don't get this opportunity too many times. Like we can't blow it this time. Like the first time we be young. My first year to start, boom, boom, boom. Now it's no excuses. So it was like, yeah, it's all or nothing right here. So
Right.
so Thursday definitely should be a fun episode. So yeah. Everybody, y'all know what I'm about to say. Make sure y'all trade. Y'all know what that means. Talk Ravens all day, every day. I'm your host, Justin P, and from my MVP $1 million co-host, Miss Shannon Finch. We will see y'all Thursday, same bad time, bad channel. We are out.
Good night.